And thank you. Tonight, 4 Republican candidates for the U.S. Senate squaring off on the debate stage, each looking to replace Senator Mitt Romney, who is retiring at the end of this term.
The candidates are current Utah Congressman John Curtis, Riverton Mayor Trent Staggs, former Utah House Speaker Brad Wilson, and Jason Walton. Our team of investigators watched tonight's debate and have been working to fact-check the candidates' statements.
KSL investigator Daniela Rivera joined us now with a KSL Truth Test. Daniela?
Well, that's right. Each candidate is entitled to their own beliefs and opinions. Tonight, our team is checking their claims of fact for truthfulness. Here's what we found. Riverton Mayor Trent Staggs made this claim about fraud during the 2020 election.
We saw so many evidences of fraud in this last election.
Here's what Utah Elections Director Ryan Cowley says about election fraud in Utah.
No, we've never seen fraud significant enough in Utah to sway the results of an election.
And University of Utah Assistant Political Science Professor Josh McCrane notes, beyond Utah, there was no evidence of widespread fraud during the 2020 election.
And these are things that we really need to push back upon, because there's very little to zero empirical evidence that there's anything like voter fraud in U.S. elections.
Brad Wilson had this to say about tax cuts in Utah.
And as Speaker of the House, I ushered in the largest tax cuts in the history of this state.
The president of the Utah Taxpayers Association told us if you add the cuts together, cumulatively, Wilson's claim checks out. And in March last year, then Speaker Wilson was there as Governor Cox signed an historic $400 million tax cut. Both Wilson and Staggs made claims about the number of migrants coming across the border during President Joe Biden's administration.
When Joe Biden became president with over 90 executive orders, he opened up the border. We've had tens plus million of illegal immigrants flood into this country, creating a humanitarian crisis and a security crisis that we are all aware of.
We've had 10 to 12 million people invade this country during the Biden administration.
Data from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows there have been about 9.9 million encounters with migrants from October 2020 through April this year. And that data includes people who were both apprehended and sent away without being held in the U.S. In the final minute of the debate, Staggs raised a serious allegation against Curtis.
You know, on March 4th of 2020, Abbott Laboratories was awarded a federal grant. On that same day, John Curtis purchased stock in that company.
You've accused me of a felony here tonight. You better have very good evidence, and I'd like to challenge you to produce that evidence.
Staggs and Curtis spoke with reporters after the debate, both standing by their comments. Our team is still working to truth test that claim and more from tonight's debate. Mike and Deanie.
All right, we'll be interested to hear what you come up with. Daniela, thank you.